Hey guys, today I'm gonna read you the last part of Goosebumps Phantom Auditorium. If you wonder why I'm not reading the whole book, it's because I tried to do that, and it got deleted with the rest of my channel, my old channel, so I had to read the part that hurt me the most. Okay, so chapter 25. Okay, I started to cry out, but he squeezed my hand. His eyes were burning into mine. He seemed to be bugging me with his eyes, begging me not to say anything, not to give him away. Who is he, I wonder, frozen in the bright spotlight? Why does he look familiar? I turned back to the audience. Silence, waiting for me to speak. I took a deep breath in and said, Esmeralda's next line, Phantom, why do you haunt this city? Please tell me your story. I will not be afraid. The Phantom sweeps his cape behind him, and his eyes were locked onto mine, his gloved hand still squeezing mine tightly as he keeps me from escaping. I have lived under this theater for more than 70 years, he declared. My story is a sad one. You might even call it tragic, my fair Esmeralda. Please continue, I exclaimed. Who is he? I asked myself. Who? I was chosen to be star in a play, The Phantom revealed. A play in this very theater. It would be the greatest night of my life. He paused, took a long deep breath. My heart skipped a beat. He's reading the script. I realized those aren't the right words. What is he saying? But my greatest night was never to be, the Phantom continued, still gripping my hand. You see, my dear Esmeralda, an hour before the play was to begin, I fell, I plunged to my death, I gasped. He pointed to the trap door. When I realized who he was now, he was the boy who had disappeared. The boy that 72 years ago was the star of the Phantom, but disappeared and was never found. And here he was, standing behind me on the same stage. Here he was revealing to us all about how he disappeared, why the play was never performed. There, he cried, pointing to the opening in the stage floor. That is where I fell. That is where I fell to my death. I became a real phantom, and I've been waiting down there ever since. Waiting down there, hoping for this night like tonight, where I could finally play my greatest role. Let's hear. As he finished that speech, the audience burst into cheers and loud applause. They think this is part of the play, I realized. They don't know the true pain behind his words. They don't know that he's revealing his true story to them. The Phantom took a deep bow. The applause grew even louder. The fog billowed over us. Who is he? Who? The question repeated in my mind. I had to know. I had to know the answer. I had to know who the Phantom was. As he stood up from his bow, I pulled my hand free of his. Then I reached up, tugged off his mask. Chapter 26. I squinted into the thick blue fog. Despite to see his face, the bright spotlight flashed in my eye, blinding me for a moment. In that moment, the Phantom covered his face with both of his hands. I reached to pull his hand away. No! He screamed. No, you can't! He struggled back from me. In his struggle, and lose his bow. No! No! He cried. You can't! You can't! And he tumbled backwards into the open trap door and vanished in the whirl blue fog. I heard him scream all the way. No! Then silence. A horrible, still silence. The audience rose to its feet, burst into loud applause, and then cried out, Bravo! Bravo! Wow, that hurts a lot in my throat. They all thought it was part of the play, but I knew better. I knew the Phantom had finally revealed himself after 72 years. That his final moment on he had his final moment on stage, and then he died all over again. As the curtain closed, muffled the scream cheers of the audience. I stood at the opening in the floor, my hands pressed to my face. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I stared down into the hole, into the floor, and I only saw blackness. Then raised my hand. I saw Zeke running across the stage to me, wearing jeans and a white t-shirt. He lunged toward me, and with his expression dazed. Zeke, I cried. Ow! Someone hit me, I think, he moaned, rubbing the back of his head. I've been out cold. He raised his eyes to me. Brooke, are you okay? Did The Phantom, I cried. He took your part, Zeke. He's the one. He's down there. I pointed to the opening We gotta find him! I stepped on the peg. The trapdoor clanked and groaned. The platform returned to the top. Zeke and I climbed aboard. We rode it down to the dark chamber below. We searched every corner. We couldn't find him. Couldn't find the mask or the costume or anything. I knew we wouldn't. Never see him ever again. Great job, people! Great job! Miss Walker cried to us. We trooped off stage. Phantom, I like to see the new lines you added. Great job. See you all at the cast party. Zeke and I struggled to get to the dressing room so we could change, but we're mobbed by people who wanted to congratulate. Yeah, let me try again. But we got mobbed by people who wanted to congratulate us and tell us how talented we are and terrific. The play was a major success. I searched for Brian. I wanted to tell him all about the Phantom, but I couldn't find him inside the crowd of friends or parents. Come on, let's get out of here, Zeke cried. He pulled me by the hand out of the auditorium into the hall. Wow, we're a hit, I exclaimed, feeling totally wrecked and pumped and dazed and crazy all at the same time. Let's get our coats and change at home, Zeke suggested. We can try to figure out who played my part on the way. Then we can meet at my house to go to the party. Okay, I agreed. But we have to hurry. My parents are waiting to tell me how fabulous star I am. The sound of excitement, chattering, and laughter drifted from the auditorium and followed us as we made our way to our lockers. Hey, I stopped in front of my locker. Look, Zeke, the door is open. I didn't leave it unlocked. Weird, Zeke murmured. I pulled the door all the way open. A book tumbled over on the floor. I bent to pick it up. It was a notebook, brown, cover-worn, dusty. I turned over and squinted to read the cover in the dim hill light. It's a really old yearbook, I told Zeke. Look, it's from this school. What's Mill? It's from the 1920s. Huh? How'd it get in your locker? Zeke asked, staring down at it. My eyes fell on the torn piece of paper tucked inside a bookmark. Grabbed the heavy old book in both my hands. I opened to the page, marked by the bookmark. Wow, Zeke cried. I don't believe it. We stared at the yearbook article about the play we just performed. The Phantom, to be performed in the Ring. Read the headline at the top. This had been written early this school year, I said. We know the play never happened. We know the whole story about what happened back then. Hold the book to the light, Zeke instructed. Let's check out the pictures. I raised the book. We both stared down at the small photograph that covered the 2 pages. Then we saw a small, blurry, black and white photo of the boy who won the starring role of the boy who wanted to play the Phantom. The boy who had disappeared. The boy was Brian? And that's Goosebumps Phantom of the Auditorium. The reason why I didn't do this whole book is because I tried to do it. I did part 1, part 2. This is part 3, and but it got deleted with the rest of my video, so yeah, that's one thing I still get. Who is Brian? Like, in the book I can maybe understand who Brian was, but both in the episode and the musical, we never see who Brian was. Like, I never seen who Brian was. I mean, both of the kids look indistinguishable from each other. Like, I couldn't figure out who was Brian. The only time I figured it out was during the end where it's like, it's Brian Coughlin. And I'm like, wait, that's it? That guy? That guy? Really? Like, to be honest, I love this story, don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite books. Okay, so, since I'm a Goosebumps fan, let's see here. Ozzy fan's favorite book is Horror and Jelly Jam. Zach Baby TV's is Attack of the Mutants, and mine is Phantom of the Auditorium. Yep, so if either of those YouTubers came across this video, yeah, this is one of my favorite books. I have to say, I'm glad this one turned into the musical, because this deserves to be the musical. I mean, it's called Phantom of the Auditorium. Basically, a parody of Phantom of the Opera. Which is kind of crazy, but yeah. I pre-ordered the CD a while back. And I'm excited for the CD to come, to listen to it. I have to say, this is one of the Goosebumps stories that I read over and over again. I don't know why. It's just, I even got the book on Kindle for crying out loud. That's how much I like this book. I got the book on Kindle. Well, to be honest, I didn't want my book to get wet, so there's your answer for that. Anyway, that's my review of, that's my part 3 review, even though I'm gonna remake part 1 and part 2 later on, if I can, because this is a very long book. So, one thing I still don't get is the back where it says, Brooke's best friend Zeke has given the lead role in the school play The Phantom. Zeke is totally into it. He loves dressing up in gorgeous Phantom costume and scaring the other members of the cast. Brooke thinks that Zeke is getting a little into it, but then a really scary thing happens. A message appears on a piece of the scenery. The Phantom strikes. A stage light comes crashing down. Is someone trying to ruin the play? Or is there really a phantom living under the stage? Reader beware. You're in for a scare. Speaking of Attack Baby PB, the next book in the series is Attack of the Mutant. How interesting is that? Wait, let me go back a little bit. Huh, look at that. Attack of the Mutant is the next book. Huh. Who knew? One interesting thing, I guess. So that's my kind of review of Phantom of the Auditorium. Sorry I didn't read the whole book and not just the part I bookmarked. But to be honest, my voice and I struggle, so I tried my best. So you gotta give me points for that. Anyway, see you guys later. Stay spooky.